Hey there, Danavan Hylton, CEO of Hylton Lead Marketing Agency, a full-service sales and marketing firm specializing in business development and community relations. We provide grassroots marketing, soft skill training, and motivational speaking for workforce development, economic development, and community development organizations in the public and private sector. I'm in business alongside my wife, and we've been doing this for a few years now. And the reason why I'm confidently able to share this with you is because this has been a process for me, due diligence, as far as growing my business. I didn't wake up one day and start a business out the blue and it reached whatever peak that you may see in the public. I've been in business for a long time. Business meaning the act of business, but no business model. The act of making things happen with no plan. I've been doing this for a long time. I can remember my first entrepreneurship opportunity. I think I was like 7 years old. Father was born and raised in Jamaica. In that particular culture and climate, economic climate, you don't have a product or service to sell, you don't eat. So I've always been one to be able to go out and become an entrepreneur, meaning buy low, sell high, or use my skills in order to, bring an income. But with that being said, I'll never forget, I was 18 years old back in California. I was looking to do a reggae concert at a local convention center. And I was gung-ho, ready to make it happen. And I talked to an individual about 30, 40 years old. I'm 18, so I'm thinking everybody's old, but he was young, but about 30, 40 years old. And he'd been doing reggae concerts and different concerts for years, and both in San Bernardino County as well as Los Angeles County. And so when I sat down, I met him on Craigslist, I think. We met at a public spot, and I was giving him my ideas. I didn't understand what he was saying then, but I know what he was saying now. And he came to me, he used two words I had never heard. He used two words together that I had never heard of. And he said, Donovan, I love your passion, but in order for your business or your project to be successful, you have to first do your due diligence. I had never heard of that terminology before. It's like due diligence. I had an attitude with him. In fact, I said, this idea is great. I just came up with it. And if I do everything right, that's what's going to happen. But one thing I've learned in business, not everything goes as planned. And a lot of times you're going through, in order for you to really reach your heights, you have to go through that training. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of times you can reach those heights, but it's a rare occasion. It's kind of like someone going to the NBA out of high school. And then all of a sudden everybody in the country, out of all the states, feel like they can go to the NBA out of high school. No, that's a very rare occasion. In this case, what he was saying in due diligence was, have you done your research and development? Do you have any experience running a concert? If you don't have any experience, have you volunteered with somebody? Have you asked any questions? You just can't wake up, go out there, especially if you don't have the capital, and just bring up ideas and just expect people to give you the money. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a great plan with a great team and great experience, that may be possible. But here I am, an 18-year-old young man with a great idea saying, and I'm making phone calls, getting venues going and connected with vendors and don't have $1 to give to anybody. I was just hoping that it'll work out. But this consultant said, Donovan, all you have is your name. And you want people to take you seriously. You don't want to be the person that comes up with a new idea or a new program, product, or strategy every 6 months to the point where somebody sees you, they don't take you seriously. And so he said, you have to do your due diligence. And according to Google, due diligence means being responsible for the steps taken by a person in order to satisfy a legal requirement, especially in buying or selling something. And to me, like you have natural law, and you have universal law, which is almost the same, pretty much the same thing. You also have business law. And what I mean by that is there's certain patterns that have to happen in economics in order for you to turn a profit. And so if you're someone that has not taken reasonable, which is logical steps, which means that you thought it through your biological processor, which is known as your brain. If you have not taken reasonable logical steps in order to satisfy your legal requirements. In this case, your legal requirements is the law of business, of entrepreneurship that you have to go through. If you haven't done that, it's going to be that much more challenging, not impossible, but that much more challenging for you to reach your goals. And what could happen is, one, you can burn yourself out, or two, you can become so discouraged to where you give up And because you went through a few challenges that were designed to make you wiser, more experienced, and better, you give up early and therefore quit on what you were destined to do. And so I'm just giving you a heads up when it comes to as we have and we respect natural law, we also have to respect business law and do our due diligence. First, by doing research. Second, if you can, get some experience by working with other organizations, even if it's volunteer work or just going out there and getting paid for it, but get some actual experience. And third, once you get that experience, you're more capable of completing that project. These are experiences that I had to go through. I've been volunteering. Most of my work has been through volunteer work. And, those are my greatest learning lessons to where now I can confidently say, and like my business partner, my wife was saying, Don, when I first met you, you were 22, 23 years old. You weren't as confident as you are now at 32. And that's because since we met 10 years ago, at least, I had to, as a young man, see myself change my perspective of being a young boy talking business and actually going through the walk, know that I can actually compete and thrive in commerce to where now I know my values, I know who I am, I know my worth, and it shows based upon the experience that I went through. And so one way to build confidence, really the main way, especially for men, to build confidence is to actually go through the experience and actually see yourself progressing. As you see yourself progressing, you'll become more confident in what you're doing. That comes through due diligence. Danavan Hylton, CEO of Hylton Elite Marketing Agency, www.1connect.com. That's www.e1connect.com. Full service sales and marketing business, specializing in business development and community relations. And always remember, we're more than just marketing.